display unit, display unit, display unit, display unit, aleatory, 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 displeased, 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 displeasing, 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 displeasure, 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 disponibility, 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 disport, 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 disposable goods, disposable goods, disposable goods, disposable goods, disposable income, disposable income, disposable income, disposable income, disposable, 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 ali, 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 dispose of by will, dispose of by will, dispose of by will, dispose of by will, disposed, 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 disposing, 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 disposition by testament, disposition by testament, disposition by testament, disposition by testament, disposition of the funds, disposition of the funds, disposition of the funds, disposition of the funds, ale house, ale house, ale house, ale house, dispossess, 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 dispossession, 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 disproof, 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 disproportion, 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 disputant, 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 disputation, 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 abiosis, 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 alembic, 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 disputatious, 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 disqualify, 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 disquieting, 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 disquietude, 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 aleph null, aleph null, aleph null, aleph null, disremember, 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 disrepair, 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 disreputable, 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 disrepute, 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 disrespect, 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 disrespectful, 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 disroot, 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 disrupt, 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 disruption, 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 Aleppo pine, Aleppo pine, Aleppo pine, Aleppo pine, disruptive, 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 dissatisfaction, 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 dissatisfactory, 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 dissatisfy, 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 dissaving, 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 dissecting, 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 dissection, 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 dissector, 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 Aleppo, 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 dissemination, 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 dissension, 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 dissenter, 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 disserve, 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 disservice, 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 dissever, 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 dissident, 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 dissimilar, 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 dissimilarity, 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 dissimulation, 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 dissipated, 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 alertness, 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 dissipation of energy, dissipation of energy, dissipation of energy, dissipation of energy, dissociate, 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 dissociated ammonia, dissociated ammonia, dissociated ammonia, dissociated ammonia, dissociated, 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 dissociation rate, dissociation rate, dissociation rate, dissociation rate, Alexandria, 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 dissolute, 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 dissolution of company, dissolution of company, dissolution of company, dissolution of company, dissolution, 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 dissolving power, dissolving power, dissolving power, dissolving power, dissolving, 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 dissonance, 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 dissonant, 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 alexia, 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 dissuade, 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 dissuasion, 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 dissymmetrical, 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 distaff side, distaff side, distaff side, distaff side, distaff, 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 distal, 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 distance freight, distance freight, distance freight, distance freight, distance mark, distance mark, distance mark, distance mark, distance relay, distance relay, distance relay, distance relay, alfalfa, 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 distant relative, distant relative, distant relative, distant relative, distantly, 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 distaste, 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 distasteful, 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 distend, 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 distensible, 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 distension, 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 alfresco, 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 distic, 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 distill, 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 distillate, 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 distillation apparatus, distillation apparatus, distillation apparatus, distillation apparatus, distillation column, distillation column, distillation column, distillation column, distillation flask, distillation flask, distillation flask, distillation flask, distillation, 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 distilled water, distilled water, distilled water, distilled water, distilled, 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 abiota, 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 alga, 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 distillery, 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 distilling flask, distilling flask, distilling flask, distilling flask, distinct, 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 distinctive feature, distinctive feature, distinctive feature, distinctive feature, distinctive property, distinctive property, distinctive property, distinctive property, distinctiveness, 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 distinctly, 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 algae, 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 distinctness, 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 disting, 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 distinguished, 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 distorted, 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 distorting lens, distorting lens, distorting lens, distorting lens, distortion factor, distortion factor, distortion factor, distortion factor, algebra, 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 distracted, 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 distracted,